So, hello everybody. I wasn't planning to record so early. I was going to leave a few days, get my stuff together, and get put for the next one. But you'll understand why very soon. Why I bought this. It is because of this article here by the BBC, done 11 hours ago. Wikipedia in Chinese editing war of words. And this is where it's now trying to weaponize the Hong Kong stuff. I'll go into this later, actually. Against the battle of tensions between Hong Kong and the mainland. War of words. Wikipedia edit to a pro-democracy dose of pro-Beijing. And here we have it. The article right now is trying to create a conflict between loyalties. Whether the thing of there being actual bullying towards them is far and few between to be true, given the overall actions of the quote-unquote pro-democracy stance. The quote-unquote pro-democracy stance regarding Hong Kong was pretty garbage, even at its best. And here we have all the cause of this. Edit was. The investigation by BBC uncovered edit wars between pro-Beijing and pro-democracy editors on issues regarding Hong Kong, largely on a Chinese language site, but also on an English version. And here we have it. They're trying to have a us and them narrative here. Quote unquote, pro-Beijing people often remove content as sympathetic to protests, such as tear gassing being fired, images of blockades, and their own contents in Hong Kong. Pro-democracy editors tend to add context to shift balance on tone of the article, but in my experience, the pro-Beijing editors are a lot more aggressive in churning disinformation. That does make sense, because in the whole thing of what I saw anyway, the ones that were honest and more truthful was by far those that were quote-unquote pro-Beijing in the first place. Going forward, the ban on pro-Beijing editors is definitely a case of intimidation. Messages and private chats showed, and here we go. And that's the reason of it, which I don't really believe, really. Anyway, keep going. And this was that here. I'll link it in the description when I upload this video. And the reason why I'm showing this is because, what's this? I actually recorded something. This, as you can see, this is something on my alternate social media, which I posted on the 1st of December 2019, as you can see. So it was. This isn't this incident, but is a showing of what I'm on about. This and stuff like this is a prime hypocrisy of what's going on here. Those saying they're pro-democracy regarding Hong Kong stuff could mean anything. That can mean pro-terrorism, pro-children being harassed, targeted, pro-stoning of houses, pro-stoning of those around them. And as I've seen in this video, this is literally the quote-unquote pro-democracy side storming a train, blocking a train, causing damage. As you'll see space soon. And an instance like this wasn't uncommon. There's a lot more instances like this. There was instances where people were not wanting people destroying the streets of Hong Kong. There was incidents where people were just wanting them to stop violence, wanting them to stop destroying cars, harassing people. And in turn, they were treated with condemnation and harassment. Because if you want to know why, at the end, there's lots of support for the quote unquote pro-Beijing side, just because the actions done by those that are pro-democracy, alas, as you can see here, acting aggressive already. Aggressive towards civilians, not towards the police, not towards anyone else, but them acting aggressive towards civilians. As I was saying before, this stuff and stuff like it, which if you talk to anyone who actually lived there and isn't a apologist for the terrorists, would tell you quite simply put that incidents like this was not unique. Incidents like this happened, and it made those who did it hated, ostracized. People going to work was delayed. Transport was harassed. Roads were blocked. Public infrastructure was damaged or harassed. The houses of police officers involved was bombarded with laser lights, stuff thrown at it, or the children of police officers harassed in their own homes. Children of police officers, even when they went to school, were harassed. So when it talks about the incident in the Wikipedia thing, we looked at after, it is pretty clear that the white shirts were not villains. The white shirts are being seen as villains in this by the West because they were people who fought back against people like you're watching right now, harassing civilians. And when it comes down to Hong Kong, many of the people there were silent. Many didn't speak up out of fear of being beaten. They didn't say a word because they did not want to go to hospital or have their families at risk. It did not mean that the will of Hong Kong was on the side of the pro-democracy. No, not at all. Many were just silent because of the black terror that was going around. And this is a critical thing, which stuff that they want to miss, like them want to miss out on. And it's very typical in Western media coverage, especially with those in the UK. It happened here with Australian media as well. I don't know what US media did by regarding it, but I know for sure that the UK media really pushed hard against in this regard, giving pure propaganda support for the terrorists. Because in any other country, any other thing, such disregard for shit like this would never be appreciated. Such disregard for human life by people who want to claim to be pro-democracy would be condemned, attacked. And let's see now, they're storming with cameras, with everything. And I said in the video description, enough is enough. The supporters of this quote unquote protest movement wouldn't like public transport compromise or having travel further as political incited violence traveling CBD. People need to be free in city they reside in. Imagine being on a ferry and a ethnic group was attacking everyone on it for no reason, and they and I didn't then, or the people enacting a greater and more consumable evil. If you support them, expect no sympathy for me. Expect me not to support your claims of police brutality. For the core of the very issue comes from the very protesters attacking civilians. And as you can see here, with this man right now, singular acts of heroism saved Hong Kong. These acts of heroism kept the morale high. People who resisted about terror was helpful as well. It led to the revival of Hong Kong after, which led to the gift that was the national security law. I just let Wester for the show, and then I'll end the video because that alone will be more than enough to prove a point. And this is the retaliation that came straight after as I checked the timelines of things. This happened basically straight after. Having seen everything, having seen the whole thing, having seen the incidents, can you really say there was really police brutality? Can you really say that their response was unjustified when he did act as needed? Can you really say that it was a peaceful protest? Because as you saw here today, it wasn't. And this is only one story of the Hong Kong crisis of 2019/2020. There are many more and many more cases of double standard at play. And with that, I will leave you for now.